Congratulations to all of you. Before we move on to our formal ceremony, I would like all of you to take 10 seconds to reflect on those who helped you arrive at this point. All students and faculty, we would like to applaud you and your family and friends and colleagues for helping us reach our goals. We want to acknowledge all of you for the endless sacrifices you have made, for missing birthdays or dinners and switching shifts at work to accommodate our school schedule. Without your understanding and support, this may not have been possible. Thank you. I would like to offer greetings and congratulations from the SMCC President, Joe Cassidy, and our Academic Dean, Paul Charpentier. I would like to ask the nursing faculty present to be acknowledged for their efforts in helping to form each and every future nurse. A student speaker was selected by the class to share a few thoughts. Please welcome Susan Laverdier.
I'd like to say welcome to all of our friends and family, professors and staff at SMCC and YCCC. And I think I can speak for all of us to say having each of you here supporting us at our pinning ceremony means so much. Thank you to each and every one of you who has been there with us through this terrorizing but amazing journey we've called nursing school. Wow, you guys, we're really here. So a couple of weeks ago, I woke up in the middle of the night and I was just hit with a thought that nursing school and the nursing profession itself is a lot like Legos. The prerequisites, anatomy and physiology, microbiology, they're like the foundation, like the big green flat Lego base that you can build little Lego cities on. It's the essential bedrock of all that's going to come next. And I am so grateful to my amazing A&P professors who they fed my thirst for knowledge and gave me the courage to take the next step, applying to the nursing program. And starting the nursing program was like a brand new Lego set. So you have to open all of those tiny little cellophane packages and you start organizing everything into color-coded piles or shapes. And each Lego builder does that in their own unique way, just like each nursing student organizes their notes. And oh my gosh, some of you guys had the most amazing notes. You should publish them, really. But everybody studies in the best way for their own brain to work, because we are just trying to sip at this colossal fire hose of information being spewed at us. And I don't know, if you've ever built a project in Lego, I personally had a rude awakening. So I opened up this book and there's no step-by-step words explaining what to do. It's all pictures. And thankfully I'm a visual learner. But this new way of learning was very much like our first semester. I think in the first 2 weeks of school, we probably had about 500 pages of assigned reading. And we were given boxes and boxes of textbooks, like 4-inch textbooks, mountains of them. That was pretty overwhelming. So when you start laying out all the blocks in your set by color and by shape, it's kind of like going to skills lab. Maybe like the 7+ Mini Cooper Lego set. And in your skills lab, you're touching all these brand new pieces of medical equipment. It's really exciting. And you're putting like Foley catheters into Hal the mannequin and touching these really weird fake skin blocks, and you're putting PPD blebs into them. I could never get that bleb in there. And then, by the way, they're nothing like real skin, but it helps you get a little bit of confidence and start trying out new things. But partway through first semester, then you're on to real clinicals, like live people. And it's super terrifying and you get this thought of like, oh my gosh, I could kill this person. And it's kind of like getting the $300 16 plus Star Wars Millennium Falcon set, and it's just so much. But your clinical instructors are there holding your hand and guiding you through, and slowly and surely, you're getting this, and you move on to second semester, and you picking away page by page, and tiny little piece of Lego by tiny little piece, and patient by patient, S-bar by S-bar, med sheet by med sheet by med sheet by med sheet. So much clinical paperwork. But you get it done, and you're on into third semester. That Millennium Falcon is starting to look pretty sweet. And, 15 med sheets by Monday. I got this, no problem. Clinicals are going great, and you're starting to learn awesome new things and gaining new skills, and your confidence is really starting to build. And then we're heading off into fourth semester, the final semester, and everything's coming together. We're getting ready to graduate, and it's all starting to make sense. And then it's like a rug gets pulled out from under you. Coronavirus hits, and all of a sudden our world is spun out of orbit. It's kind of like a mean big brother coming and like pushing your Millennium Falcon onto the floor. It's been quite a roller coaster ride this semester. But like Legos, nursing students are amazing. They're virtually indestructible. You can slam on them and smash them and beat on them, but there's still those stubborn little bricks that'll send you to the moon at 2 a.m. in the dark. But I'm sorry, Corona, you're not going to knock us down. We've survived much worse, and we're on the home stretch. By the time we're watching this, some of us are going to already be RNs. As a class, we've conquered more than is generally humanly possible, and we've survived it. As a class, we're more than conquerors. We've suffered. Sometimes it seems like we were being tested just on our sheer ability to survive. And we've had some super hard times. We've sacrificed a lot to be here today. Our families have sacrificed a lot as well, and we thank you. We've been through the crucible. We've had to work while going to school. We've failed tests. We've been sick. We've taken care of our sick family. We've had financial hardships. We've been married. We've been divorced. We've had babies. And we've lost some of the people that we love most in this world. But we didn't quit. We built a strong foundation, and we supported each other. We've studied together and laughed together and cried together. We've been there for each other. The faculty was trying to figure out the factors related to our class's unprecedented completion rate of 92%. It's really impressive. It means like 92% of our student class completed the program start to finish. And that's a pretty unheard of thing, especially in the community college environment. I believe it's because of the unique and supportive bonds that we've had for each other. We've had each other's backs since day one. As a giant Lego set can only come to completion through dedicated effort and support of each brick, one attached to the other. We've become friends, and we're becoming nurses, joining a profession of endless choices and colors, like the 20 bazillion Legos that are out there in the world. I ask you, what are you going to do with your Lego set? We just completed our very first set, Lego RN. But the possibilities from here are limitless. Some Lego sets are small and strong and sit quietly on the shelf, happily admired. Other sets are unique and one of a kind and larger than life. But all sets are built strong and made for amazing creations. Each one of us has a different path before us. and we can make a difference, one brick at a time and one life at a time. I love you guys. Thank you.
Today's guest speaker is Nancy Jackson. She's the Regional Director of Emergency Services from Lincoln Health and Coastal Healthcare Alliance. Nancy was selected by the students to share some of her thoughts and experience with our future nurses. Welcome to Nancy Jackson.
Hello. It's an honor to be able to speak to you all at your nursing pinning ceremony. Congratulations on completing your nursing program. And welcome to our noble profession, one that I have been part of since 1991. I started my journey in healthcare in 1985 during the AIDS HIV epidemic. I quickly realized my passion for nursing and went on to graduate with my ADN in 1991 from the University of Maine in Augusta. Eventually, I moved to acute care nursing and worked in an ICU and a CCU. And in 1998, I was asked to try the emergency department. Within my first few months, I thought, what in the world am I doing here? But I persevered and gave it some time, and that was 20 years ago. Eventually, I became drawn to leadership. I discovered in myself a passion to lead people and to grow them professionally. I graduated in 2015 with my master's in nursing leadership. Over the course of your education, I am sure you have heard and experienced the critical role the nurse plays. For the last 16 years, nursing has been named the most trusted U.S. profession. And why is that? Because our patients believe that we are here to advocate for them. In today's climate, our profession has never been more valued. We are frontline heroes. The news is saturated with pandemic tragedies and triumphs. This is an exciting yet terrifying time to be entering healthcare. Together, nurses are leading the charge and facing adversity head on. All over the globe, nurses are working through their own fears and doing what they have been prepared to do, and that is take care of the sick. That's what makes us special. When we are called to action, we don't hesitate, we pull together. We arm ourselves with knowledge and understanding. Florence Nightingale once said, "How little can be done in the spirit of fear." Class of 2020, you are now part of this elite profession that will always be remembered as the hero. Collectively, we are called heroes. Yet, what is a hero? It's a person noted for courageous acts and nobility of character. Each of you bring a unique and special contribution to the profession of nursing. Whether you are beginning your career in the ED, long-term care, ICU, or med-surg, you have the power to impact the lives of you touch with your actions, your knowledge, and your compassion. As nurses, we have the privilege of being part of our patients' lives when they are at their most vulnerable moment. We experience the miracle of birth and new life. We hold the hand of the elderly woman as she says goodbye to her husband of over 60 years. We wipe the tears of the grieving mom who just lost her child. We are the face the trauma patient sees as they are wheeled into the trauma bay. We are the compassionate face the post-op patient sees as they wake up out of anesthesia. And we are the face that hands you your precious newborn. Yes, as nurses, we get to experience all of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I can assure you, there will be ugly. There will be angry patients. There will be frustrated and difficult family members. And there will be challenging physicians. And yet, as you work through the best and worst of times, alongside your peers and your colleagues, you will forge exceptional relationships. Ones that last a lifetime. It's an amazing journey. with so many options. Class, you have worked hard through many challenges these past couple of years, through exams and clinicals, and probably some sleepless nights. Top it off with a pandemic that is doing its best to thwart your best plans. I think you already know that becoming a nurse is not about the pinning or the graduation, because if it was, 2020 would have failed you and your expectations. It's about implementing the science of nursing process to achieve the best outcomes. It's about connecting with another human when they are at their greatest need. It's about leaving your biases at the door and helping the downcast and the broken. It's about providing a safe place for those who cannot provide for themselves. And above all, it's about listening, always listening. You will learn how to stand firm, find your voice, and advocate when you believe you are right. You will learn to keep an open mind and to become a lifelong learner. I truly hope you recognize along the way that nursing is about being present, making every interaction count. It's being humble and being able to pick yourself up after a difficult shift and come back to do it all over again. That's how we make a difference, one patient, one interaction at a time. So often I see brand new nurses quickly become cynical and judgmental. They have just begun their journey and they have already lost their way. We all have the ability to impact the culture we work in. We have the opportunity to bring value and change to our profession. This is not a job. This is who we are. We don't leave the title of nurse at the door when we walk out. Our families, our neighbors, our friends, they see us as a nurse, both on stage and off stage. So if you miss the mark on what a nurse truly is, you represent all of us. Nursing heroes, they're made up of one nurse, one interaction at a time. As I close, I want to share a story. Recently, one of my emergency department nurses received a Daisy Award for his stellar clinical care but more importantly, his caring manner. Let me tell you about this nurse. He has seen the best and the worst of humanity. For the last 13 years, as he worked in EDs all around the country, he could have easily become cynical, and yet he chooses not to. The patient who nominated him wrote, "I could see he did his very best every time he came into the room. No, he seems to try his best. He seems to try better than his best." The rest of the nomination was beautifully written and depicts the noble character that represents the nurse. I challenge you to always try better than your best. So to you, the class of 2020, you have made it this far and you are so close to the finish line. Now is your time to make a difference. I close today challenging all of you to raise the bar for yourselves, for your patients, and for the teams you work with. The reality is that healthcare environments have negativity in them that can permeate your department and your spirit, ultimately impacting who you are as a person and as a professional. Never forget that light shines brightest in the darkness, so that let your light shine and that you may be blessed and you will bless others along the way. Congratulations.
The nursing pinning ceremony is a time-honored nursing school tradition. This signifies your official initiation into the profession of nurses. The history of this rite of passage can be traced all the way back to the Crusades of the 12th century. During this time, the Knights of the Order of the Hospital of St. John the Baptist tended to the injured and the infirmed crusaders. When new monks were initiated into the order, they vowed to serve these sick soldiers in a ceremony where each monk was given a Maltese cross, the first badges given to those who nurse. The modern ceremony dates back to the 1860s when Florence Nightingale, who is the pioneer of nursing, was awarded the Red Cross of St. George in recognition for her tireless service to the injured during the Crimean War. Florence Nightingale brought legitimacy, dignity, and recognition to our profession. Beyond her achievements with nursing students and improvements in the hospital environment, Florence Nightingale collected, analyzed, and disseminated data about death and disease. She was the first nurse researcher. For this work, she was elected to the fellowship in the Royal Statistical Society in 1858, the first female to be so honored. To share the honor, she in turn presented a Medal of Excellence to her brightest graduates. We recognize and appreciate her contributions to the art and science of nursing. By 1916, the practice of pinning new graduates was standard throughout the United States to welcome you into the profession as a way to identify what school you attended. We celebrate today's nurses who demonstrate the art and science of nursing in their everyday practice. This is National Nurses Month, which is always celebrated on the week of Florence Nightingale's birthday. This year we are celebrating the 200th anniversary of her birth. I recently learned that back in the day when nurses were first graduated, the purpose of the pinning ceremony was to actually graduate each person for literally surviving long enough to graduate. Nurses survived tuberculosis, the plague, and other contagious diseases. Today, while the viruses have different names, they are equally serious. Future nurses will look back to you as the heroes of our day. Prior to today's ceremony, each new graduate chose a respected registered nurse or a family member to participate in welcoming them into the profession. The already licensed nurse recognizes and accepts with pride each individual's commitment and dedication to nursing.
I solemnly swear before my peers and in the presence of this assembly
to bring my best to nursing and practice the profession with honor and integrity.
I'll abstain from whatever is deleterious and mischievous and will not take or knowingly administer any harmful drug.
I will do all in my power to raise the standards of nursing and will not willfully disclose
any personal information of the patient or the family that has come to my knowledge while performing my responsibilities.
I will faithfully work with my colleagues in other health professions
and devote myself to the welfare of those under my care.
Hi everyone, I'm just saying congratulations for graduating nursing school. I know it's been a really challenging semester and the last 6 weeks were nothing that anyone expected, but you guys really rocked it and stayed persistent and worked through it. So I'm looking forward to seeing you all in the future when I'm doing rounds on the clinical units. I'm hoping you all stay local and stay in touch. And I hope you all have a really great summer. You deserve it.
Congratulations.
Nursing cohort of May 2020, both South Portland and York students. As a faculty member who has assisted your journey, I just want to congratulate you for graduation and welcome to the profession of nursing. I just want to touch on a couple of things. I know you're going to hear from other speakers, so I'll make this short and quick. But we are celebrating Florence Nightingale's 200th years, and I think of Florence Nightingale and I think of the term grit. And I also think of grit when thinking of you as students, especially the way that we had ended our semester because of COVID-19. But with your grit and determination, everything was finished successfully. And I understand many of you have already passed the boards. I'm super excited for you and welcome again to the profession. So grit in Florence's time, that G would have stood for germs, or really thinking about growth mindset, right? So she knew that germs would spread if we didn't wash our hands. That is still true today. That has not changed in our age of coronavirus. So germs and all the things that go with germs, washing our hands and prevention, are standing for resilience. And she understood that it took a body time to recover. So resilience includes utilizing rest and good nutrition to make sure that we stay resilient and the body stays resilient, but the human spirit too. The integration of science and art. So Florence did her work knowing the science behind her interventions, and also the art of incorporating the holistic body, the whole person, both in our mind, body, and spirit. So her approach was those interventions would encompass and integrate the whole. And T standing for touch. So we know that, again, touch, the science and art, but the art is the caring, the human spirit, the touch, the touching of someone's life, the caring for them because of your knowledge and your ability to use appropriate interventions. So I challenge you as you go into this workforce, remember your own grit. Remember that the foundation is there and that you will continue to grow throughout your entire profession. You will be resilient and use that resilience to help guide you through your paths. Integrate the art and science of nursing, and always, always remember the importance of touch. Your grit will serve you well. Congratulations.
Today, you are welcome into the most honored profession for its honesty and ethical standard. Nursing has topped the Gallup poll for surveys for professional honesty and ethics since they were first included in the survey in 1999. This is a significant honor bestowed on nurses, as well as a responsibility imposed on us to retain the trust and reputation you have earned. Best wishes.